are on! We're magic! This is where magic happens, everybody! Right here, right now! Then we have the famous Craig Collins.
Hello. How are you?
Well, it's a pleasure to meet you today, Mr. Craig Collins, the universal reading specialist.
you may want to straighten up your coat a little bit in the back and then pull it forward.
Pull it forward more?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, a little forward. And a little, there you go. And straighten up the collar. No, not quite like that. Yeah, you have a this wrinkle. Color? There you go. Yeah, you got it. There you go. Perfect.
Is it? Does it?
Yeah, now you're looking sharp. Yeah. And now it's pulled back over here. Get it towards the get it in the front. There you go. Forward.
I was just looking for some color.
Yeah. It's like you got your local color. Looks good. So how's the sunshine in Michigan? Real beautiful day today.
See? Yeah. See? It's white. Almost as white as your hair. Not quite.
No, that's silver. You're a lot of people are colorblind. Don't worry about it. It comes with lots of people are colorblind. This is silver.
It's silver. That's like that. It expands the silver cord that's going into your through your crown, so it gives you more information from spirit. That's
what happened when I got zapped by spirit. It turned my hair white. And the other thing that helped was I was going through a divorce.
Could you unplug? Can you unplug and plug? Can you unplug and plug in?
Are you okay?
Now you're crackling up.
Oh shoot.
Yeah, you're good, but you're crackling up.
And stop crackling.
Yeah, so maybe can you refresh?
No, it isn't bad. It's this stupid cord. Oh, that's better. Okay, you like that better?
Yeah.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Oh my God, look at you. You're looking beautiful again.
Thank you. Always.
Woohoo! We'll start in just a minute here. Everybody's got to get on and get coordinated. Yay.
Yay. Oh, Maria Navarro is on. That's real important. No, Maria is on. Let's see if we can get her on. She's here. But she doesn't have a video possibility. Is she able to talk even though she can't be seen? Is that okay? So she has to click. She has to be on the panel. Okay, cool. Cool. Okay. So you're saying, so are you still getting crackling? It is. I do. It's because of the cord that goes into my computer. And when I don't, is that better? Oh, wonderful. Wow. Well, this is great. Oh, now Maria, go up to the top of those little boxes you accept.
Okay. Sure.
Yes.
It's okay. Great.
Yeah. No, we want to hear from you. No, we want to know.
I know.
Okay, Richard, this is Craig. How are you?
Good. I'm supposed to be on the air here soon.
Yeah, you're on now. Go ahead and go on.
Oh, I don't know how to get on that on the mic.
Well, you have Blab. You have a Blab right on the front of your computer on the iPad. It says Blab. So click on Blab. Yeah, you'll see a little thing on the front of your computer, right down there where all your apps are.
Hold on a second. Sorry. I just got back from my blood drawn, so just walked in. Okay. 48. Okay. Okay, I'm on my front page.
You'll see Blab down the bottom, or on one of your choices to click is Blab.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a little circle. Wherever go to wherever you have your apps.
yeah, I'm looking at all my apps right now.
Okay.
Go to the next page over. I see it Blab. Okay, got it.
Click on Blab.
Yeah. Okay. Amplify Summit Q&A for writers, speakers, and coaches.
So you're gonna see on air.
I see live so far. Live.
Yeah. So click that. So then look. Okay, and then look for a guy. God, I hope you. It's a face.
I see a reading miracle method with Craig Collins.
Good. Yeah. So click on that.
You click on it. It actually clicks.
You just go to your browser and push your thing and click on it. Yeah.
That doesn't click. Okay. The reading method miracle. Reading method miracle. Craig Collins and Lee Anderson. I see him.
Yeah, that's it. So you're up. You see me right now?
I don't see you. I see this guy named Robert or something.
Yeah, Robert McRae. So you're gonna, but you take your browser and you want to choose that one to go on to.
Well, I'm sitting there seeing his picture on it.
Yeah, but okay. So go up to the browser and on that picture, click on that, like you know.
His picture.
Yeah, it'll turn it on. Choose that one.
No, there's nothing to click on. Craig.
Isn't there a when you see the picture on?
I have a bar button that's bar. See his picture. It says entered. This might be a recording or something. Reading Miracle Method, Craig Collins and Lee Anderson entered.
Okay, do you have on air? On air? Or you clicked on air? You want the ones that are on air?
Okay.
It's up to the left-hand corner.
I see you talking here. So this is recording already.
Okay, so then you're going to see.
Recording.
Okay, so you know that you can see me, right?
I see you after. This is an earlier recording. You're talking right now with the white earphones on.
No, this is a different.
This is a recording now.
Okay, that's just a recording. You want to go. There's a little box that says on air because you're wanting to choose the ones that are on right now. The ones that are on right now are on air. It'll be a little box. You click on air, and it shows you the ones that are there, currently showing.
Okay, sorry. I just don't.
You're fine. It's
the first time.
yeah, it's confusing. You're doing great.
What can I help you with? I don't need Siri. Thank you. I'm trying to get back out and start over again because it's just not. You know, I never saw anything that's on air.
Okay. Then go to your messenger where I sent you the URL for the program. So if you can go into Facebook, and then go into Facebook.
Here we go. I'm gonna hit Blab.
And go out of Lab and go into Facebook.
Okay. All right, Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then go into where I sent you a message for your messenger.
Okay, Facebook. All right.
And you'll see messages. Go to messages up at the top on the right.
No, I'm waiting for which one. Lisa Nichols. Sally.
Let's see a message.
Check in.
Now go up to messages. Go.
Okay, but there's nothing I can tell. There's no words on the screen. It says messages. So I got a picture of Lisa Nichols. Hold on a second. I can check this out. Sally's got my iPad in her hand.
Oh, she's here.
She said you can go to
Go to messages on Facebook, and there'll be a I sent you a message.
There's no message here. You got to send it to me, Craig, not to Richard.
It's her iPad.
It's my
my Facebook, not Richard.
Oh, I've seen. Okay.
So your Facebook is on your head. Yeah, I gotta change it, but it's that way right now. It's not gonna show up yet. This week. It'll show up in a minute. So tell me when it's sent.
Okay, just a minute.
Is it?
Not yet. Hold on.
Next one I have it yet. This is Messenger. Right here. Click on that one. You see a one come up. Waiting for the messenger to show watching.
I know.
She's making us believe that.
Shit.
So I've never used my iPad, so I guess it's time to learn.
Good idea.
So I'm going to look at Messenger, but she said wait, there's a number that'll show up or something. So,
Okay, so-
how do you know when you go on the air? What time do you go on the air?
You're on right now. You were just waiting for you. So let me see how we do this. Okay.
So he's just talking.
Yeah, he'll talk around me being off. So Sally, is your Facebook under Sally and Richard Crawford? What's the name and the what I'm looking for?
What name is he looking for? Because it was addressed. Sally.
Oh, here it is, Sally Crawford. Okay, I got it.
Yeah, it's just that you got my Facebook.
I know. I just said I didn't have. Thank you. Okay, so you'll see. Okay, I just sent it, and that will be the direct tab to get to it.
Yeah, I think it's just there's a one there. Just the one. Go right here. See the one? Yeah. Go to that. There it is. Okay, now what you see in our back?
You click on that link. That'll take you to the program.
Okay, that'll put me on.
It'll put you on the program.
Okay, that's okay. Waiting.
You'll see me. You'll see me, and
Okay, now I've got live conversation about anything. And
do you see me? Do you see me in a box there?
so, right. You just give it. Okay, okay, I got it. I don't know where you're not on here anymore. Click that again. Click on that. I did click on that. No, you clicked on here. Yeah, I clicked on wizard here. Here it is. Want to change it. And now you have to get it out.
Yeah, you're on. You're on. You're okay. So you're up. So now go.
No, we're not. No, we're not.
Okay.
There you go. Oh, that's the phone recording. Oh, this is the app. I don't know what to do from here. I don't know what to do anymore. What it was, it said go where? I'm sorry, but that's what it did. No. It's a live conversation. Get app. We already have the app. Yeah. We already have the app.
Yeah, and it said, and it shows on the program. It shows that you're up. So you're somehow you're on it somewhere.
back to some old recording. No, all I did is go on to it.
Why don't you just go off again and do it again?
I did. I went out and came in.
Yeah. So you click
I
that.
don't know what you do now. I don't know what you do.
Hello, sorry, I'm helping Richard get on.
Yes.
Oh, well, welcome. I'm so sorry. I was trying to help Richard get on. Okay. 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 Well, welcome to the Universal Reading Method. And my name is Craig Collins, and I'm the CEO of Yes You Can Read Now. Yes You Can Read Now Inc. A little bit confused here. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Hi, I'm Craig. Back again. Okay, well, welcome, and I apologize for. I want to get my friend Richard on here. He's a great guy. He's a film producer, and he was the person that he put together our presentation video. And our presentation video is just fantastic. And when we've shown it to people, it's got their attention, and they contact me. And so I'm really, really pleased to have Richard. He's won Emmy Awards, several of them, 3 of them, and some Golden Globe Awards. And he did his own movie back in the 70s. It was so powerful that the CIA hit it, destroyed it. No, tried to destroy it. He finally got it back. Called Captain Milkshake. Captain Milkshake. It was a Vietnam War movie about the Vietnam War, and kind of exposed some of the things that were happening to soldiers when they were coming back from the war. So it's quite a powerful movie. Anyway, love the guy. He's just great. One of my best friends. So hopefully he'll get on. They're trying to figure out how to do that. It shows that they're kind of on. So anyway. Yeah. So the process, is interesting. I think that first off, the Universal Reading Method is a reading method that was produced by my brother. He invented it, and I was very skeptical of it. So I tested it in every way. I went for what was called evidence-based information, and I brought him a lot of students that he didn't know, and I had tested him and had him teach them to read, and everyone became a reader in like less than 2 hours. It was really impressive to me. And I got to ride up to his house up in Julian and ride back down and see what the person was like before, which was they looked down. They didn't look outside the car. There were words outside the car, and they didn't want to see those words. So that was a big deal. And then, in fact, one person said, well, I might need glasses. And he had big numbers on his watch. And so we went and got some reading glasses for the first time. And he was in his 40s, so it was like not a young man. So we got up there, and then he just, it was amazing. I mean, he didn't have any idea. He kept going into the bathroom because he had a urinary infection. He needed to use the bathroom quite often. And he went in and he saw this statue on the back of the toilet. It said, and he kept looking at it and looking at it. He went back about 5 times. And finally he comes out and he goes, "Sue the bastards." I went, "What? What are you saying?" I thought maybe he was angry at my brother, or, and his name was James, and a little bit of a wild guy. So he says, "Yeah, sue the bastards." And he went, "What?" And then my brother goes, "Oh, I have a statue," because my brother had become a lawyer, and he had had graduated from law school, and someone gave him this statue, and so he put it in the bathroom. So James was like, had gone in several times, and he said, well, I first went in and I knew the word Sue because that's my sister's name. I knew Sue. He said, but I didn't know what the other words were. And he knew what those words were. I mean, he used those words. This is the guy that definitely knew what the word bastard meant, you know. And so he comes out and says to the bastards, and then he finally explains. He says, I got it. I got the reading method. And that was after about 40 minutes of my brother teaching him. All of a sudden, it clicked, and he went on. And then when we rode back in the car, he was reading all the street signs and the billboards, and we were going really fast when we got on the freeway, and he was like, all of a sudden he got quiet and was looking down the car again. I looked over, I said, James, what's going on? Because I lost it. I always lose it. I lost it. I just absolutely lost it. I'm just amazed. I can't read it. And I said, oh, well, what's wrong? He says, I look at those billboards and I can't read them. I said, well, we're going really fast, and so I can't read them either. So let me get in the slow lane, and I'll go slower. And so I got in the slow lane, and then all of a sudden he could read those billboards again. These kinds of experiences with people that I have where they transform from being a 4th grade or 7th grade reader, and they're real challenged and they're real confused by words, and they have to stutter and sputter, and that happens a lot. It's 90 million adults in the United States that are functionally illiterate. It just happens to be the same number who don't vote in elections. 90 million adults. So we feel strongly that if we can teach those 90 million adults to read, then we're going to have a lot more participation in our election system and government. So it's pretty interesting process to go through to be involved. You know, for me to be involved in it. The process of when I decided that I was committed and I really wanted to teach the world to read. That's what I personally want to do. I want to teach the whole world to read English. I want the whole world to have it easily available. And I started off with just my brother, and my brother couldn't reach all those people. And then I taught it, and I couldn't reach all those people. I mean, not by myself. I actually, we could fill an auditorium of people or a theater full of people, and everyone would learn to read if they could hear what I was saying, what I was teaching, if they could see the screen and they could repeat that. We've had classes of 40 students, 20 students, 4 classes of 39 students. And every time we touch a class or taught the class has learned and transformed into becoming readers. And they were able to read 475 multi-syllable words. Huge. I mean, and they started off with 4th grade, and if I didn't show them a milk carton with the word milk on it, they were a little confused by the word milk. So, and this is nothing, not their fault. You know, they're brilliant people. They're brilliant people. They become brilliant, especially when they realize that they can read. But they were brilliant before. They just didn't know how to read. And my brother was one of them. You know, he knows how and what it was he wanted to know and not want to know to learn to read. And so when he created the reading method, which was kind of an epiphany where it just kind of downloaded to him one morning, and he wrote it all down. And it happened right after he had gone to talk to his professor, and he was in a law school and graduated from college after 6 years of tedious study. And the professor talked to him about concepts, and he had never thought about putting the reading method into a group of 7 concepts. Amazing, 7 concepts. And so he did. And so my brother graduated at the top of his class in law school after that.
Wow.
And before that, he could hardly get through Pepperdine College. He was really, the reading really interfered with his progression. But then once he did, and they were using his notes to teach a class. When the teacher left, he'd taken such copious notes from the teacher in the last semester. They actually came to him and said, "Can we use your notes?" Because he had such good notes and was so thorough. So that's my brother's transformation. The whole process of how this evolved. How did this evolve? Because first off, we have a big problem. And my brother went to 1st grade, and they asked him to spell his name. 1st grade. Usually every kid knows how to spell their name. But his middle name was Jerome, which is my father's name. And the teacher had Douglas Jerome Collins.
Oh, wow.
And my brother couldn't supposed to roam, and he was from the very first day of school. He was totally ashamed, embarrassed. There was only one other student in the class couldn't spell his name, and my brother was really humiliated just off of that, and it lasted throughout his grade school. So the evolution was that there had to be a need, a big need, and that the universe had to listen to that need. And my brother was the filter for that need to be expressed, and lived a life that was quite challenging for a long time, and then it opened up. And then he realized he could provide that to other people. The whole reason my brother invented this reading method and is involved in what we're doing today is because he doesn't want anyone to go through what he went through. That's in his heart, strongly in his heart. I don't want other people to go through life the way I did until I was in my 30s, you know. He said, I don't want that to happen. So it's not going to happen. And so I'm committed to teaching the world to read. And it's a passionate thing to do. Mm-hmm. So when I got involved, you know, I didn't know anything. I didn't have a clue how to do a business or promote something. I just knew I had a lot of passion and was really impressed with what was going on. So it was really important. Well, here's Richard. Okay, Richard Crawford. Hello, Richard. Can you hear us,
It's a miracle
Richard?
reading system. I finally read how to get on. Of course, I had to take the course so I could get up to speed, you understand?
Yeah. Yeah, 3 to 6. It was a 3-hour course.
Well, thank you. Watch this. Watch this validation.
No, he's going to show you. They can't see it yet. Show. Oh, there it is. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you.
Richard Crawford has been just a lifesaver for me since 10 years when I began. I met Richard at CEO Space, and Richard has been through a lot of beginnings and endings and starts and all kinds of businesses that have, he knows how to make it happen. And the big one is he taught me how not to give up. And so whenever I felt like giving up, I called Richard and he'd laugh. He'd go, "Oh, is that where you're at?" Okay. Don't give up. You're doing fine. You're doing it right on schedule instead of me thinking I'm way behind. But Richard created, he went with us to video people. So Richard, tell us all about that experience. What was it like to?
Well, you know, when Craig first told me about the reading method, you know, it's such a miraculous thing that it became very apparent that his communication issue is it's too good to be true. And so I said, Craig, there's only one way you're going to be able to get this across is to actually show the evidence of people who have started and couldn't read and can read. It seems so obvious. But, you know, what became apparent was that the world is set in its ways. And, you know, it used to say it takes 35 years to make any change in education. The simplest change takes 35 years for it to go through. So here he comes with a miracle reading method that, first of all, it's like getting a cure for cancer. You put a lot of people out of work, you know. There's a lot invested in status quo of keeping things going. So that's what I set out with Greg. I said, let's just start shooting people, videotaping them who are before the method and after the method, because that's the best proof. And even after that, people look at it and say, well, these are really great actors. But it could be true, or it's all one big lie, you know. So anyway, video is such a powerful medium now. It is the medium of our time. It is the language of business, and it's also the language of this kind of communication. And it's a miracle that Craig was able to put this together on a video that can be shown in the world. The implications are so amazing to me when you realize that we can eradicate poverty. People can't be oppressed if once they can learn to read, and they can read for themselves. So this is a major game changer. And it is almost too good to be true. But it is. So
But it is.
So we're
But it is
really
true.
excited. I don't know if Craig, you've told them about the experiment we're going to do very soon with 30 students and teaching them all at the same time to read. We're going to film it. You bet.
Well, we're going to do it next week. We don't have the specific date yet. We've been really having problems arranging for the specific appointment date. But it's in Watts. It's up in inner city Los Angeles. We'll be teaching students from the ages of 16 to 26. These are all inner city students who can't read, but want to be in school, want to learn. So they go to a special school. And Rhonda Dixon, who is a very good friend of ours, that we just adore, has been the one putting it together for us. And in fact, Richard and I went up, and we were all ready to go. And Richard had his cameras, and he had everything ready. And we were staying at a wonderful hotel, and we had dinner. And Rhonda came in the morning, and we were having breakfast. And on the news, we're sitting there talking about getting ready to go, and on the news was when that guy bombed. They announced that there was a bomb in the schools in New York and Los Angeles. And they closed down all the schools, including the school we had to go to. It's a really uncanny, some of the challenges that take place. We have no control over them, and we're all ready to go, and then there's something that takes it a different direction and interrupts us.
That's
so
much resistance.
we're ready right
so
now
much
for
resistance there is in the atmosphere. You know, change scares everybody.
Yeah, no, it's
a scary change, you know.
It's really
and, you know,
true.
there are some people that would rather not see people get too educated, because who's going to do the dirty work? Underneath it, there's some cultural attitudes in some quarters that you don't want to educate everybody, because then who's going to take care of the king and the castle if all the people are too smart? You know, that goes back a long way. So we can't stop this now because of the fact that we realize that 80% of the world is not flying with one thing.
I'm fine.
You're breaking up a little bit. I am.
Okay.
Oh, good. So can you hear me now?
I did. It's me.
You're breaking up and real scratchy for me. I can hardly hear you. Yeah, I'm trying to learn the reading method by lip reading. So what I was saying is that there's never been a time like this with 80% of the world is hooked up online. 80%, 75 to 80%. I mean, it's hard to even comprehend that. That now the world is Craig's classroom with 80% of the people hooked up. You know, when we were in Vietnam a few years ago, my wife and I, it was amazing because everyone had a cell phone. Now, their average income per year is $500. It cost them $150 to get a cell phone, and everybody had them. So that's how important it is to be connected with the world. And when you realize that everyone's carrying a classroom in their hand, you can teach anything you want to the world now because everybody's got a classroom in their hand. So the reading method's coming on at the perfect time when there's access to the world. So it's going to be exciting to see what happens.
One experience I had in Chicago was I was speaking to a group of teachers, and I was explaining to them with great pride that we could teach people to read in 2.5 hours, and that all their students in this homeless facility would be able to learn to read in 2.5 hours. And the instructors, the teachers, raised their hand, and I said yes, and they said, well, if you teach them in 2.5 hours, what am I going to do with them for the rest of the year? And they were serious. They weren't kidding. It wasn't a joke. Status quo of, well, what will I do? I'm the teacher. I'm used to going into the classroom every day and doing this curriculum. It doesn't work and it doesn't change anybody, but that's what I do.
So Robert,
Yeah.
So Robert, what you're doing right now is what's going to change the world and making communication channels available to everyone, including teachers, because they get under a lot of pressure. They're limited. They end up spending their own money to get innovative things for the classroom. They need to be shown that there is a different way. I mean, this conversation, we should hook this up with the Teachers Association and just talk about it and let them decide what they want to do about it, you know. But we have the responsibility to communicate it to other people. The hard lesson in life that I've learned is that if somebody didn't get my communication, it's because I failed to communicate, no matter what. You know, and that's a big one. You know, when you have to own that one, you can't go nana. They didn't write it down. You know, it's like, so what I'm saying is that we have the opportunity. Unlike, I mean, all of us. Look how long it's taking us to just wake up to what's available. And here you are already doing this nice broadcast, but the rest of the world just waking up to this. That we're all hooked up. I mean, there's no excuses anymore. You know, it's a world market, a world education system. Maybe 8 years ago, I actually worked to develop an international world education system where we had an international university. We had some wealthy guys in Cambodia. They're going to put up $7 billion to build this network. We spent a year developing it and getting it all ready to go. And at that time, we were only seeing that cell phones are going to be a way that we can reach the world. You know, the project fell apart because there got to be some skullduggery with the money, with other people tapping into that money when we started getting it. And somebody walked off with $500 million out of our first billion, and all of it, and it wasn't us. We were waiting for our money to kick this thing into high gear, and then it just became where they didn't want to play anymore because some money handlers had stolen a lot of the money, and it just kind of vaporized. But we were very excited about the possibility with the idea when you think of having a central headquarters where everybody can send educational material up to a common location, and then the whole world can tap into it. If you want people to know how to get clean water, they just go up. And it's not unlike the internet, but it's up to us communicators to make sure everybody knows the information is available, just like Craig's doing now, going online with the reading method. Think of all the teachers who, if they realized that they had access to the world, could teach anything they wanted to teach right now, just like we're doing right now. I think it would invigorate them, inspire them, and get them really excited about we all feel kind of down in the trenches and we can't do anything about all these world problems and they're too big to be able to do anything about it. So why worry? You know, that mentality, we all have that because it's somebody else's problem, or to be honest. But now, with access to the world, there are no more excuses, just like the reading method. It's just, now it's up to us to step up the line and do what we know we can do and make the big difference in the world simply, and it's free. These only a few years ago, if you want to get on national television, you have to sponsor a television show and cost you millions of dollars. And there's a handful of people relatively that you can reach. You're lucky if you get a 2 million audience. We got the entire world at our fingertips. Oh my gosh. So guess what? We're all running out of excuses. There's no reason we can't create the utopia that we'd like to see, and it's not up to everybody else,
I want to share with you that, and he's very humble. He'll probably interrupt me if I do this, but it depends also when you're communicating and making your brand and presenting yourself that you use the right people. And I did a lot of homework and talked to lots of people about who's going to do a presentation, how they're going to do this, and how they're going to present me. I was just a person and with a lot of passion when I met Richard. And I actually did think that people would applaud me, and I told them I could teach people to read in 2.5 hours. I really thought they'd carry me around on their shoulders and there'd be a parade because I was so impressed. But Richard is the one that by creating a video about us and interviewing us and interviewing students that I taught and getting to know them, Richard really puts himself fully into the project. Richard is as passionate about our reading method as I am. He is forever calling me with ideas and thoughts, and we just filmed something last Saturday. We wanted to make it better. Our reading method had a certain piece in it, and Richard wanted it to be a higher quality. And so he comes over, and we spent the afternoon putting that together so that we can have the best quality of everything. Richard is that kind of guy. When he works with you, if you have a product or you have a service that you offer, he's the king, man. He's the king. He's really the king. Those trophies that he has that are in his house, which are very special to receive, don't even touch it. Not even a small bit. They touch Richard's incredible creativity and the incredibly fun time you have doing your project with them. That's the big deal. It's no longer scary. Richard makes it really easy, and it's really fun to do. And he's like real, reasonably priced, and everything about Richard is just A+.
Okay, Craig, you earned your 10%. All right. Good job.
I know he had to say something. He's so damn humble.
Well, that's the privilege of my life of being in this business. Everybody asks, how do you stay in a whole lifetime of doing this? It's opened so many doors and so many opportunities and things I would never have been able to access. And in amazing ways, I was in the space program in the early days and being able to be with the astronauts and travel to all the launches, doing a report to NASA and the Air Force, and even all the commercial work. I've done feature films, television, and people say, well, are you selling out by doing commercial work? I say, absolutely not. It's a joy to make a short 5 to 8 minute movie and be able to keep making it and keep up on the technology. And there's always new experimenting to do. And this whole thing about education is really a place in my heart. And because of this, some of my clients I work with, they've already discovered a method to regrow spinal cords for quadriplegics. Again, it's too good to be true. So I'm over there filming them and filming the before and after and watching this young man who's 23 and was a paraplegic. And they said he'd never walk again, never run, never do anything. And then after he did 18 months of this program, he's up and running and hiking and biking and surfing and everything. Well, how much joy is there for that to be able to show the world? Again, the world's saying, it's impossible. The doctors say it's impossible. It can't be done. You can't regrow a spinal cord. Well, there's a lot of people out there just doing it, and they don't get the recognition for it because they're considered lunatics or crazy. And I mean, we've already had many cures for cancer, but they've all been something's happened to them, or they disappeared, or the information went away. It's just like these giant skeletons they've been finding all over the world. And they found just hundreds and hundreds of these giant skeletons that range anywhere from 7 feet to 30 feet tall. And every time they find the bones and bring them up to public awareness, the bones are confiscated by some historical society or somebody, and they just disappear. So, I don't want to get into that kind of woo-woo stuff, but it's not even woo-woo. It's just that there's something about overcoming this idea that we should know everything that's going on. Keep them in the dark, keep them stupid, keep them paying taxes, make them bail out the banks, whatever. What is that? And first. Thank you for that, because that, after my whole lifetime of doing this kind of work, that's what it comes down to, is being able to feel the heart of the subject and be able to make it in clear terms so everybody gets it. And I think that's what we all need to do, as you're doing, Robert, bringing this information to the public in a way that they can perceive it and understand it, make it simple conversation, and get it out there. So yeah, so we are the communicators of this age, and it's our responsibility to keep it simple, keep it lively. This is really an emotional medium when you think about it, that we want to move people to take action, move them to open their hearts, move them to contribute whatever needs to be done. So everything I do, whatever the client is, I always look for the emotional component of it, because that's what the medium really is good about. It's not, if you want to tell facts and write a paper or write a book or whatever, but if you want to move people to make a difference, then just like Craig's doing by putting his training on video, I mean, he's taking a big risk about how it could be stolen or ripped off or whatever. We went through a lot of that and realized that, it's better just to get it out there and watch what happens. And, who else is going to want to do the work that he's doing? Not many. So there's really, all we can do is just get it out there, and proof is in the pudding. As soon as we do that, as soon as we do this group teaching, there's going to be people who are going to be blown away. They're going to fall on the floor and go, I can't believe, what's the trick? How did they trick all these people into acting like they learn how to read? How did they do that? And it's, after a while, it's irrefutable evidence, and you cannot deny it. And you just have to make a big mental shift. You got to just sweep out the cobwebs and let in some new information, and let your brain regrow itself and grow a new circuitry. What the technology that's going on with Craig's work is what is much of the leading edge right now, is everything about brain research, everything about how the brain regrows itself. I've had clients that a woman, her husband was a brilliant research scientist. He's riding his bicycle in Del Mar, hit a rock and went over the handlebars and destroyed his brain. And he was totally a vegetable, and they gave him up. There's nothing they could do about it. And so she wasn't okay with that, his wife, and she spent 4 years and brought him back 80% back, and regrew his circuitry, regrew his brain, got him back to functioning, and not totally back, but more than anybody could ever imagine. And this is going on all around us, this kind of brain research about how the brain is absolutely a hologram and it can reproduce itself. And so you don't count anybody out. Now, there was a downside of her story. After 4 years of working with him and getting back, he was an avid skier, and he always wanted to go back out skiing again. And that's what he was living for, is to be able to go skiing. And he went down a hill and went off the trail and hit a tree. Put himself back to zero. But life is funny that way. It's still a great story that what she did, but she was really in a dilemma whether she wanted to go through that whole thing all over again or not. But there's so much hope for us about what the brain can do. One of my clients, you don't mind me talking all these stories? Is that okay?
Tell them the story about Lewis Sims when you filmed Lewis, the guy that was
yeah, this was amazing, because, I'm still allowing, with Craig, I'm still allowing in the potential, what I'm seeing. You know what I mean? It's so miraculous that you have to sit there and just go, oh my gosh, this is really happening. So Craig decided he wanted to work with a gentleman who had had a heart attack, who had had a stroke on top of that, and had been reduced to minor functioning, barely able to walk, didn't know where he was, didn't have a clue what day it was. Just, his lovely daughter was just taking care of him. And he's not that old. He was 65, I think, something like that.
No, he's 69 years old.
Yeah. So Craig said, this is a challenge I'd like to see, because of the brain retraining. I'll just call it that, building new neural pathways, whether it could reach this guy or not. And so we're there. So I've got a couple cameras filming the whole thing, and he asked him to read some basic 3-letter words, and he couldn't read red. He couldn't read now. He couldn't read yes. He just sat there and just was in a quandary trying to figure out these words. So Craig said, never mind that. Don't worry about that. Let's just start doing the method. So he did the method, and he was starting to follow along and starting to do the repeating and doing the learning of the sounds, then had to take a walk. And even in that short period of time, he said, he has to go take a 15-minute walk to let the brain register what he's been learning. And his daughter always takes him, and he said, no, I'd like to try this myself. And so she got him down the stairs and out on the street, and he just went down for a walk and came back, and she was amazed because he hasn't been able to do anything on his own. And this is only in, let's say, 45 minutes of the training, something like that. So anyway, bottom line, when he came back and he started reading the words, at first he was kind of befuddled, but he'd start to pronounce a word based on the reading method he learned. He goes, millionaire. I know that word. That's millionaire. And all of a sudden, coming from a blank repository to tapping into those words. So Craig started doing the 45 multisyllable words, and gosh, I don't know how many he got through, but it was amazing. And the amazing part after that, his demeanor had changed. Now he kind of knew where he was, and now he was beginning to come back into reality. And he was talking to his daughter, and she said, I haven't seen him like this in a long time. He's beginning to get cognitive again. Well, what do you attribute that to? You know, that method is restructuring and regrowing neural pathways in a hurry. And I don't know, do you have any follow-up on that, Craig, about having talked to his daughter?
Yeah, I've talked to him. His favorite thing to do right now is he's definitely reading. And one of the things, I don't know if you remember, but within 20 minutes of us teaching him the reading method, he stopped slurring his speech. He started off slurring, and Richard and the neuroscientist Barry Schwartz were there, and they're going, and he stopped slurring his speech, which was a big notice that the brain was changing. And then when he did take his walk, he did have a crutch, and we'd follow them up the stairs with the crutch. And he took the crutch with him, but he didn't put all of his weight on it. So recently I talked to he and his wife. They live in Ohio, and his favorite thing to do is to do that page of letters, and then you make a crossover and you make a word, and you go upside down, you make a word, and down the bottom you can make the word with the letters. And so he's able to do that completely by himself, and that's one of his favorite things to do, along with reading and taking walks with his wife.
I was at a party, Craig, when we were at the party the other night together. There was a guy there who was a Polish scientist who's been working with brain retraining. And he contends that almost every malady that we have right now can be dealt with through retraining the brain. And he has some methodologies. And he said, I'm talking about illnesses, sicknesses, and everything else. He said, once you can retrain the brain to function properly, it has the ability to send the signals necessary to regrow cells and to re-heal the body. So I'm going to be interviewing him very soon and getting him on camera. I've got a show I'm putting together called Wealth, Wisdom, and What's New. So it covers every category. Find something that doesn't fit. So, yeah, you bet. So, Greg, I suppose you've talked about Barry and the research project already. Have you already talked about that?
I haven't on this blog. On this blog, I haven't talked about that. Richard, that's a good idea. The University of California at San Diego has honored us with putting together a study, a brain imaging study, and Barry Schwartz, who has been with us for the last several years, having gone with us to see Lewis and several other people that we taught, is really impressed with the reading method. So he was bringing it to UCSD, and they've now funded it. That's a big deal. And right now they have a review process. There's all these different types of red tape things you go through, but because we have the funding for it, then it's going forward, and they'll actually do brain imaging before and after on each of our students, and because they really want to know. I mean, they're curious because of the things that are happening with the multiple populations that I've taught. They want to know what's going on in that brain. It's a study that has to do with plasticity, and we're able to identify plasticity, activate plasticity, and show cognitive response in 2.5 hours. never been done before. In fact, no one's ever taught anyone to read or transformed a person from a non-reader to a reader in 2.5 hours, and especially not the population of people with Asperger's syndrome, with dyslexia, with brain injury. These are things that don't, it's all new. No, too good to be true.
I see all these happy hands at the bottom of the screen. Does that mean somebody likes what we're saying, or what is that? I have a happy hands idea that is obvious, but I want to say it is that this reading method now, Craig's making it available to anybody in the world who wants to teach it, because they all have to do is send the video. So it's going to be so easy. So anybody who's listening would like to make a huge difference in the world and not have to do really a lot to do with it, but can actually be the facilitators. They need to contact Greg and become an affiliate. Not only is it going to serve the world to get the information out, but they can make a nice living doing it.
Yeah, I pay affiliates $100 for each student that they put on our video, and those funds are transferred to them immediately when the person who's paying to learn to read pays it to PayPal. PayPal pays our company and also pays them, and for each student that they come up with, it's $100, which I think is, 10 of them is $1,000. I think people are going to have a huge incentive. Who wouldn't want $1,000, each month, just by turning on 10 people to a new life?
Well, this is the way we beat the system.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't stop free information. That's going to change everything, and they're not going to mess with you for a long time until it's got a significant impact. By then, it's too late. You've already turned people onto it. Hallelujah. And that's the way it's going to grow, and it's going to catch fire, and there won't be any stopping it. We'll all be laughing in a few months about what's going on in the world.
Well, quickly, for the people who are here, and just so you understand what we're talking about, is that we teach the Universal Reading Method online. It's a video. And we teach 7 concepts, and that's a very significant number, because 7 is something that the brain takes in and receives and can retain. And we provide each student a break in the middle, so they take a 15-minute consolidation break where they take a walk, and it's during that time and when they come back and review it themselves that it actually takes place, that they really know that they can utilize what we taught them. But if we don't give them the break, if we didn't give them the time to consolidate, it wouldn't work. And I've tried it. We've had times when it was raining outside, or someone, we wanted to go faster. There is no going faster. Those are key parts. And then we teach the exceptional sounds. And then after the exceptional sounds, we immediately put the student into a list of words that's 475 multi-syllable words for you in the United States. It's from the GED. They're the words that people need to know before they can go to college. So I have 6-year-olds reading those words. And
I'd like to add to that, for people to understand that if you want to become an affiliate, all you do is you get the reading method and take it yourself, so you're familiar with it. But you do not have to be the instructor. The video does it all. That's the miracle. We didn't know if that would really be true or not. Now we're teaching with the video alone, and so what a deal! You don't even have to be. You don't have to be a teacher to teach it. So
excuse me. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
When I traveled around the world, I wanted to go for the evidence. I was gone for 3 years, and I went all over the United States and up in Canada, and the UK, and Hawaii. And while I was gone, we developed the video. Richard and Ron created this video for me and downloaded it to me, and I got the video. I taught it with the video. I am the teacher on the video, but it teaches better than I do. I can't forget anything once it's on the video. It's there forever. I personally, when I'm teaching it, can have different types of thoughts and get distracted. So the video is better than I am. So you have me in your living room on your computer teaching the Universal Reading Method for you. And all you've got to do is sit back and observe and the miracle taking place and support the student. You don't say one word to them other than "good job" and come back from your walk. But you don't even have to. I don't want you to say anything to them. Don't help them. Don't save them. Just you're real quiet while the person's going through it, and the transformation takes place, and you get to be there, and you're part of it. You brought that person in. You invited them to your house, or you invited them to go on the computer. And like people say, well, how's your day? Well, I can't have a bad day. I mean, I've transformed. I mean, this afternoon, I got a guy coming at 1:00, and he's never read before. He's really challenged reader. He's memorized a lot of words, but he has trouble with reading. And he's an established, respected guy who has a business that he does real well at. In fact, he's real high up in respect, and so he's coming. And then I'm going to show him the video. I'm not going to teach him. I'm going to put him on the video, and the whole video will teach him to read. It's really exciting to me. Being an affiliate is really cool.
My personal experience of Craig, having taught the method, that every time he teaches it, he's like transformed. He just gets higher than a kite on what he's doing, because when you realize the vault of knowledge and information that you open up for people, the changes that are going to go in their lives, from going from shame and embarrassment to being able to read, just like that young girl that Prentice's daughter, you know, Craig and I think she was on your show last time. They were in the room learning, and then she comes out in my office and sits on the floor, and they're in there talking about what she just went through and how she learned how to read. She whips open her vampire book and just sits there and starts reading, and while they're talking for half an hour, she's almost through 2 chapters. And she
read 32 pages.
A lot different than the movie. So she was comprehending. You know, she was getting. This is different than the movie was. And she said, "I've been wanting to read this book for so long." And she said, so she just sat there and kept reading. And there's no faking it or no running your fingers across the words or any of that. Just reading and they come out and she says, "Guess what? I just read a couple chapters in the book. It's wonderful." And I go, oh my gosh, you know.
I'd like to bring someone on that has done this reading method a couple of weeks ago and just get her viewpoint of, do you think it's a good time right now?
Sure.
Yeah. So Linka, I would like you to, Linka, I see you on the panel. Why don't you jump on here and just tell us about your experience with the reading method. And it's been a couple of weeks, and we would like to hear her.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, Linka. How are you?
I am very well, like usually.
So nice to have some feminine energy on here now.
Yes, I do. Thank you.
Yeah, you can lower your voice just a little bit. Yeah, there, but that's good. You're good. You're totally good. Awesome.
It's better now?
Yep, not too loud. Yeah, there you go. So can you tell us, Linka, when you started the universal reading method? What day was it? Do you know? Remember, it's a couple of weeks ago, I think it was.
Couple of weeks, yes. I don't remember, because when I got it, I have to do this because I want to experience. I am an adventurous woman, and I like to experience everything, which is coming in my way.
Good, awesome.
Could you tell us, Lenky, what your situation was before you took the method?
Yes. Before I read very slowly, and I had to concentrate each long word. But now I understand much better, and I don't have to stop to each long word, and I read much faster. And the other thing, that I don't have to think what I speak. Now it's fluent because I was born in Romania. I am a Hungarian woman, and I lived in Hungary also, and the English is my third language.
So soon to become your first language, huh?
Were you surprised in the ability to begin to read so easily?
Yes. yes. I read much faster and I understand much faster, so I don't need to think about it. And thank you. Sorry, finish what you want. and another thing that it's the reason when I am here and we're doing these blobs, you mentioned that I am shining, and yes, I came here in this earth to shine, and when I let my own light to shine, I give permission to others to do the same. And that's the reason I am here now. And I am so grateful for it, to be part of it.
Maybe you can give the reading method to other people.
Yes, I can.
Good. And you can get paid for it.
Yes.
I like getting paid.
For sure. I think so. Everybody loves.
Lincoln,
What an ideal situation to do good. You know, my motto in life now is I just want to do good works, have a lot of fun, and make a lot of money.
That's it.
So we got the combination. This is fun, and you're doing really good work, and you get to be paid for it. I mean, I think we got a winning combination here.
Yes, everybody win position.
well, Lincoln has been involving herself in working with Robert recently, and everything she's doing requires her to read, to go on the computer and find things and read. And she's doing an excellent job for Robert, looking for different resources on the computer, and it's all reading English. There's no, obviously, Romanian or Hungarian that she's involved in. So she's actually taken the reading method and activated it, and she's actively using it and doing something she enjoys. So that's great.
I make fun from everything, and I don't have zero experience of computers, but I am doing and I have fun. Yes.
All right. Greg, can you tell them how they can reach you to find out about the reading method?
Robert's got it, and Robert's going to.
Oh, okay.
Also, if you do communicate with Robert and let me know and whatever, I'll be happy to call and talk to you, and you can actually talk to me and ask me lots of questions. I love questions. I mean, I really thrive to hear about your questions.
So Rob. So Robert, where do you live? Where are you located? Oh, that's my backyard. Wow, let's get together. I think I'd love to have you work with me on Wealth, Wisdom, and What's New. You'd be a great host. Okay, thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.